what continent right now we find ourselves. In the news, 6 killed as gunmen attack Plateau community. Across Africa, Russia seeks for more military ties with Libya. And on the foreign scene, democracy leaders given jail terms and crackdown. In Hong Kong, in business, CBN places sugar with on FX constraint list. And down to sports, on the 15 LA Liga NPFL football tournament begins in Enugu. Details shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I'm Ruwa Panao, and this is TOS News 360. Riyom Local Government Council of Plateau State has been attacked by gunmen, leaving 6 persons dead. The attack, which occurred last night on Thursday at Warring Village, left 6 dead and 2 others were seriously injured. Mafeng Gwolson, chairman of Riyom Local Government Area, confirmed the attack to newsmen in Jos, the state's capital. Also, Senator Estefanos Gyang of Plateau North condemned the attack, saying it is sad and terrible for people who continuously attacked and killed without prior knowledge. The senator also stated the government and security agencies should put in more efforts in protecting law-abiding citizens from gunmen and killer bandits. The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, revealed over a total of 1,071,346 Nigerians has received their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, according to reports from the Electronic Management of Immunization Data, EMID system, 53.2% of people who are considered eligible for the vaccine were given the vaccine shots. In some states, the vaccination of frontline health has been completed, moving the attention to elderly aged over 65. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has on Thursday granted former governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, bail over alleged 7.9 billion naira fraud after spending 2 days in the commission's custody. TOS News gathered that the EFCC granted Okorocha bail in order to access documents and other materials that can support his defense since the issues against him attract bail. However, his movement may be restricted to the country as he has been told to report intermittently for more questioning. Russia is keen on prospects of renewed military cooperation with Libya. This was seen when Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu hosted Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dbeibah. Libya, has been held down by chaos for almost a long time. And in February, the company went on a new phase after selecting interim leaders to lead the country until the December elections. According to Defense Minister Shoigu, there is hope that the Russia-friendly Libyan people would overcome the year-long crisis which has broken out, as a result of outside interference. A migrant shipwreck off Sidi Mansour in Tunisia has claimed the lives of at least 21 people, according to a provisional toll. Radio reports state that the bodies of the victims were discovered and Tunisian coast guards were able to rescue 3 migrants from the Ivory Coast and Guinea in coordination with 2 fishing boats in the area. Now, according to sources, operations to search for potential survivors are still in place. An investigation has been set up concerning the case. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and you're watching TOS News 360. More stories from Africa and the global scene when we return. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. Still in Africa, the World Food Programme has said that soaring food prices and conflicts have driven up the number of people facing hunger by more than 30%. This is compared with the same period last year, and according to a statement from the United Nations Organization Over 31 million people are expected to be food insecure. Chris Nikoi, WFP's Regional Director for West Africa, said conflicts and the constant rise in prices are already driving hunger and misery in West Africa. The World Food Programme needs to raise $770 million within the next 6 months for its operations in West and Central Africa to help assist nearly 18 million people. The presidents of Egypt and Djibouti, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Ismail Omar Guelleh, have held over-the-phone discussions concerning the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD. The leaders of both countries have come to the agreement that the issue should be resolved to avoid insecurity and instability of the region. President al-Sisi was keen on a binding and comprehensive agreement being reached on the filling and operation of the dam. Somali security forces will take a lead role in security operations on al-Shabaab from now on. Representatives from the United Nations Support Office in Somalia, the UK Mission Support Team, and several of Somalia's international partners were present at a two-day meeting set to evaluate security gains in Somalia. At the conference, discussions were held on the harmonization of military operations and plans as well as joint planning and coordination. SNH Chief of Defense Forces, General Dawa Yusuf Rage, called upon the sectors to take things seriously in order to achieve the harmonized plans. And on the international scene, five leading pro-democracy advocates were sentenced to jail by a court in Hong Kong on Friday for organizing a march during the 2019 anti-government protests that triggered an overwhelming crackdown from Beijing. Those sentenced include Martin Lee, the city's so-called father of democracy, and former lawmaker, as well as pro-democracy media tycoon Jimmy Lai. A total of 9 advocates were sentenced to jail, but 4 of them, including Martin Lee, had their sentences suspended after taking their ages and achievements into consideration. They were found guilty earlier this month of putting together a massive protest in August 2019, where about 1.7 million people marched in opposition to a bill that would have allowed suspects to be extradited to mainland China for trial. Lawmakers in France have adopted a law concerning sex minority and incest after a social media firestorm touched off incest allegations against the popular intellectual earlier in the year. On Thursday, the National Assembly voted unanimously to make 15 the age of consent, classifying sex with children under that age as well as incestuous sex with anyone under age 18 as rape and punishable by up to 20 years in jail. The new law also entails stricter punishment on internet pedophilia. Anyone caught grooming children under age 15 online will be facing 10 years in prison and will pay a fine of 150,000 euros. The new law made an exemption for consensual relations between a minor and a young adult up to 5 years older. A previous attempt by French lawmakers to set the age of consent floundered in 2018. It was inspired by the case of a 28-year-old who was caught having sex with an 11-year-old girl but was initially not charged with rape. Reports from the police in Indianapolis state that 8 people were shot and killed in a late-night shooting at a FedEx facility in the area, with several others being injured. According to witnesses, several gunshots rang through the facility and a man was seen firing an automatic weapon. Authorities have assured that there is no additional threat to public safety, as the gunman is thought to have been acting alone and his reporters have killed himself. This is your digital First Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, and you're watching TOS News 360. Stories on business, entertainment, and sports. When we return, do stay tuned. Thank you for staying tuned in business. Plans have been made by the Central Bank of Nigeria to place sugar and wheat on its foreign exchange restriction list. Godwin Emefiele, the CBN governor, disclosed the plan through the verified Twitter handle of the bank, stating that we must work together to produce these items in the country. In 2015, about 41 items were listed by the CBN for foreign exchange restrictions, with intentions to conserve the nation's foreign reserve and boost local production as well. Reports have it that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) are working together to bring about a better understanding and regulation of cryptocurrencies in the country after a ban was placed on crypto and other digital assets in February 2021. Lamido Yaguda, the Director General of SEC, has said the point of discussions held between the Commission and the CBN was for better understanding and regulation of the crypto assets market. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has stated that if Africa continues to lack access to vaccines, its projected growth will be at 3.4% compared to the rest of the world at 6%. Regardless of the fact that growth in 2020 turned out better than what was expected, it stands at the worst on record at -1.9%, which led to a sharp spike in poverty. African leaders have been urged by the IMF to mobilize domestic revenue, strengthen social protection, and promote digitalization to help. Popular music record label Mavin has announced a music entrepreneur program to build and grow a music movement. The music program, titled the Mavin Future 5, is a 6-month internship program to help create the most proactive and creative music supporters in Nigeria. The selected candidates will receive training from the best in the music industry to receive valuable experience in the music industry. The program is open for ages 18 to 23 that will be recruited and trained with the best business skills and experiential training. The Under-15 tournament of the Spanish La Liga Nigeria Professional Football League (NPFL) kick-started on the 15th of April 2021. The tournament has the Enugu State Government and the league management company NPFL Spanish La Liga as its sponsors. The tournament started with Enyimba International Under-15 Football Club of Aba, who held their counterparts from Dakada FC of Uyo to a 1-1 draw. The match was 13 at the main bowl of Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu. Ahead of the Nigeria Women's Football League Super 6 tournament, the Edo Queens are set to secure a spot at the CAF Women's Champions League. To secure a slot, to represent Nigeria at the regional qualifiers at the maiden CAF Women's Champions League, the Queens will compete against Bayelsa Queens, Delta Queens, Rivers Angels, FC Robo, and Sunshine's Queens. The Queens arrive in Ijebu-Ode as the first club ahead of the tournament scheduled to begin at the weekend. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital First Pan-African News Network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Ruel Panawo. Thank you for watching.